morning and welcome. I invite you to pause with me as we gather in this space this morning. Creator and sustainer of life itself, we gather ourselves into this place today, aware of the multitude of influences on our lives that have brought us to this point. We gather at one of those special points, filled with joy, with anticipation, and with gratitude. Many different paths have brought us to this point, yet we acknowledge that our lives are forever interwoven. As we enter these moments of celebration, we pause to give thanks for those who have helped shape us and for the realization of your grace upholding, guiding, and molding us throughout our lives. May this time be a time not just of letting go, but of being opened as well. Opened to an unseen future into which we believe and trust you will continue to lead us and to love us. Amen.
Please join me in singing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Be seated. I'd like to express a sincere welcome to the parents, family, and friends of the class of 2018, and to the graduating class of 2018. You did it. Welcome to the platform party, to the trustees, to the alumni, to the faculty and staff. I declare the formal opening of the 140th graduating class of Juniata College.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman Staton. Get situated here. You okay? Welcome all of you gathered this morning as we celebrate all that is ahead for the Juniata College class of 2018. Your class has had a powerful voice these past 4 years and a work ethic that has been impressive and inspirational. Students, I'm honored to be here this morning with you, looking into the distance with you, and enjoying the thrill of that powerful moment of what is next. We also take this moment as a community to reflect on how we have arrived together on this particular day. I say it each and every year, and each year I believe it with greater conviction, that today is a celebration that is a collective celebration. It's a recognition of a job well done by so many people, including teachers and pastors, friends and family, and particularly all those parents out there. Students, please join me in a round of applause for your family who've made this journey possible for you. In addition to those family and friends with us today, we owe our collective thanks and genuine appreciation to our talented and devoted faculty who have prepared all of you to be leaders in the diverse and complex world that you are about to embrace. I would like for my faculty colleagues to stand so that we can say thank you for your many contributions and deep commitment to Juniata and its students. All right, students, let's just pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Look around for a second. Just think for a moment the day you had arrived 4 years ago as a first-year student. The journey at that particular time may have seemed impossible. Take a moment to fix this. Fix the images in your mind. And to the families and friends that are here for the graduates, you remember this too, as you were absolutely part of this journey and no doubt will be there in one way or another for when these graduates leave us today. Students, as I look around and I look at the faces and remember the stories, many of you have engaged in activities that have changed your life. Internships here or elsewhere. Many of you have studied abroad, traveled for service, traveled for competition or performance beyond the borders of the United States. You have done research with faculty members, done student teaching, completed projects, prepared for the Bailey, presented at LAS, and more and more and more. You have done serious work that has stretched outside your POE, that has stretched outside your comfort zone. But you have worked together and figured it out. You indeed have learned persistence. You've learned how porous the world's disciplines can be. You've learned to engage the messy and the sublime, to make something with it, something great, something that moves, something that answers a question or perhaps creates a new one. So to the class of 2018, it also seems an understatement to say that while you have been here, chasing your dreams, passionately I might add, the world has changed in tangible ways while you have been here, including just this past week. The puzzle, the enigma, the conundrum that is Yanni or Laurel, I have to take the moment right now and understand, Yanni or Laurel? Yanni? Laurel? We have our answer. Or not. Is that not crazy? In all seriousness, while you have been here, you have observed and witnessed a peaceful transition of leadership in the most powerful nation on earth. And by the way, yes, most of you had opinion about that one way or the other. You engaged one another in civil disagreement, silent protest, political action, or just good old late-night banter. We gathered on the quad. We gathered in this space, in the residence hall lounges, to talk through a variety of local, national, and international challenges that we have all faced. And we certainly had our share of moments when things got testy, they got difficult. And one of you said to me, however, and I will paraphrase, that it's okay to be angry with a place you love. as long as we can partner together and commit to one another to make things better. This place attracts people who are thoughtful and passionate about their education and their role in the world. And while you've been positive and uplifting, inspirational and motivational, I know, too, that many of you have struggled. You got fed up, felt like things needed to improve and change for the better. And I stand before you today to affirm that we have listened and we will strive to get better each and every day. Listen, I receive plenty of feedback as a college president, whether I seek it or not. I've gotten a healthy measure from many of you in the audience. I won't point in directions. I hear from thousands each year in one way or another about the value, about what we do here, who love this place and yet absolutely disagree on how best to proceed with certain issues. And it takes patience. It takes care to balance the ideas and move forward for a greater good. But together it is work worth doing, and it is work with that all of you will continue to do in your communities. Of course, you're about to walk across this stage having learned how to do that, how to engage with yourself, your peers, and the world to effect consequence. Why is this important to mention today? Because in just a few moments, we're going to welcome a speaker and alumnus to this podium whose work over the years with Juniata has been enthusiastic, it has been critical, it has been wise. If I know Dr. Taylor, he will passionately and authentically share how this place challenged him, but also loved and supported him in ways that influenced forever how he cared for others. To conclude, one of my favorite expressions is that with knowledge comes responsibility. Students, as you exit campus today and embark on what is your next journey, that responsibility should be a joyous and privileged burden. Appreciate this moment where you can see in one place the breadth of experience and strength of people who have dug deep and worked hard to engage, to cross boundaries, to pursue questions in ways that have led to your success here and will engender success in the years to come. My best wishes to all of you, class of 2018. I know you will do Juniata and yourselves very proud. Thank you, and Godspeed. Okay, on to the next. Get the pleasure of introducing our student speaker, President of the Class of 2018, Stephen Chuh. Where are you? After arriving in San Diego at the age of 5 with his family from Seoul, Korea, Stephen Chuh made another daring move to Juniata in August of 2014, just in time for orientation and inbound, and never having made the trek to Huntington, Pennsylvania. Sight unseen, he was in. Based on the recommendation of an alumni family friend and the reputation of Juniata from colleges that changed lives, he was all in from day one. Somewhat anxious too, but always a Juniatian. Stephen's goal upon arrival was to establish friendships with as many of his fellow Eagles as he could. Stephen believes in the power of relationships and seeks opportunities to constantly learn from those around him, from the knowledge and wisdom of faculty, the experiences of his friends and classmates. Stephen has been doing biology research under Dr. Chan for 2 years, where he's learned not only to look at the big picture, but also to analyze different levels of biology and how they interact with each other. He also gained a greater appreciation for scientific literature, which provided an in-depth background that served as the foundation for his research. He gave poster presentations during the Liberal Arts Symposium, traveled to Penn State to meet students from other universities, such as Bucknell University, to discuss his findings and future directions. Most importantly, Stephen has learned how to properly explain the complexity of his research to non-scientists by using metaphors, visual diagrams, and other tools. Stephen believes this skill is essential for physicians to explain the diagnosis to their patients in a concise manner. Although he came to Juniata to study biology and health professions and to become a doctor, he also chose a secondary emphasis in politics, because in his view, conflict exists everywhere, but we only accomplish great things through working together. This secondary emphasis in politics has enriched his pre-med studies and given him a framework and a lens through which to see role and responsibility as an agent of change and as a leader. To that end, Stephen has served as class president for 3 years. From a first-year student intimidated by the prospect of seeking the position, Stephen began to seek out and learn from those around him. I will just go off script here and say intimidation has never been something that has been affiliated with Stephen Chuh. He received encouragement from friends to campaign for sophomore class president, a process he described as nerve-wracking. But he faced that fear and overcame it, and he never looked back. Stephen believes that developing bonds within and among the class's diverse members has been an important part of the leadership legacy that he will leave behind, as well as helping select the class gift, an experimental classroom in the new learning commons where faculty and students will encounter and experience new and emerging pedagogy, collaborative and innovative learning, and spark a spirit of inquiry. Stephen's lifelong passion to become a doctor has been reinforced through his summer experiences contributing to the operations of the emergency room in his hometown. Stephen calls the medical team heroes who give 110% to the patients for whom they provide critical care. And they have modeled for him the kind of engaged citizenship he plans to undertake in his future. And as evidence of his success at Juniata, Stephen has received several awards, such as the American Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology Student Travel Award, the Dr. Homer and Ethel Will Endowed Scholarship, and the Kimbo Scholarship. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome to the podium the president of the class of 2018, Stephen Chuh.
All right. Thank you, President Troha, faculty, friends, and family. Before I get started, I would like to say that it is not only fair, but also just to say that none of us would be here without all of you. Congratulations, class of 2018. Graduation is finally here. I read somewhere that great speeches are the most concise, and I assure you this will be a great speech. I apologize to my friends because they have to hear this speech for the 25th time. They will be fine though, since they all played sports, so they understand that repetition is key. These 4 years have gone by so fast because I remember the first time flying to the state and driving to the school. I was absolutely shocked by the number of trees and the power of the rain. That same day, I went to get Chinese food with my dad, where I saw people who were very tall and had really thick beards, just like me. I thought to myself, when is the earliest flight back home? I quickly found out this fear was completely unfounded. I moved into my dorm, and I quickly became friends with everyone on my floor, despite having different upbringings, interests, and goals in life. What we shared as freshmen were that we were all excited to make new friends and to set the foundations for our future. I consider myself extremely fortunate because I had the opportunities to go home with my friends over breaks. Although I do not look or speak like them, everyone welcomed me into their homes with care and respect. I learned so much from my time away from home, such as there is no one right way of life, but only different ways. When you surround yourself with great minds and people of character, it begins to change and mold you into an excellent person. Despite the conflicts that exist in society, I strongly believe there are more aspects in life that bind us together rather than those that divide us. As I was writing the speech, I was wondering what I should say to provide a speech that will inspire you to change the world and maybe, just maybe, shed some tears at the end. I quickly came to the conclusion that we are about the same age. Therefore, I do not have any deep, profound truths to instill upon you. However, I do have some advice that I would like to share with all of you. Leaving college makes me both excited and nervous to enter the real world. Starting life is scary because you do not know what is lurking ahead. Life can throw you a curveball and you will either miss or get hit, especially me because I'm atrocious at sports. This world can be a harsh place. There will always be a chance of you failing. However, Wayne Gretzky once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you do not take." When you shy away from an opportunity to achieve your dreams, I believe it is far worse than you giving it your all and falling short. When life brings you down, you simply cannot stay there. Get up and fight. I believe our 4 years here allowed us to gain strong reflective skills. When something goes wrong, you have to take a serious look within yourself. Although some people may disagree with me, admitting flaws is not a sign of weakness, but instead of strength. We all make mistakes, whether it be in the class or at an East party, or both. What determines your life is you and how you respond to these challenges. Therefore, I encourage you to not only face difficult times head on, but also to enjoy them. I say, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. I believe this is what makes life truly interesting, because if you win every time, why do you try? So, I encourage you to take risks in life. The sun will rise tomorrow. As the next generation, we have to address many problems in the world we inherit, such as healthcare here at home, abroad, wars, economic policies, human rights, the environment, and others. I have every faith in you, class of 2018. We have been through the tough times, from organic chemistry to Coach Smith workouts at 6 a.m. These activities were not simply to learn facts or to get big. We learned how to apply these facts in real-world applications to understand and to improve our lives and those around us. Sports may have taught us that winning is important, which is true. However, our 4 years here has taught us what is truly important is fostering critical character traits such as hard work, teamwork, and perseverance. Regardless of what happened during your 4 years, you are still here today to begin the next stage of life's journey. We have lots of work to do. As President John F. Kennedy once said, "We go to the moon not because it is easy, but because it is hard." I hope the class of 2018 can embody this mindset. Difficult times will come to an end, such as finding a job, getting accepted into grad school, or paying off loans. These things are temporary compared to the wise investment you have made by coming to this institution. I am extremely proud to be part of the class of 2018 because of all of you. Although I do not know everyone here, I could say my life has been impacted by you. And all I could say right now is thank you. Everyone here made these past 4 years the best years of my life. Your college experience now draws to an end. However, we will always have these precious experiences that will be with us forever. I want to say this again, not as the class president, but as your friend. Congratulations, and I will miss you. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. At this time, I would like to introduce Robert Patswalt to present Maurice Taylor as a candidate for an honorary degree.
Thank you and good morning. In 1966-67, I was the football coach at Cardinal Gibbons High School in Baltimore, Maryland. Maurice, Mo Taylor, was our best tackle, our best lineman. But before I got there, Cardinal Gibbons had lost 25 games in a row. In our first year, we won 7 and lost 2. Maurice was a very, very big part of that turnaround. He was a respected leader, and by example, we needed him. So in his senior year, unfortunately, he decides he might not want to play football. And the head coach panics and has a conversation and it goes like this: Mo, I need you a lot more than you need me right now. But next spring, if you have a good season, I may be able to help you get into a good college. So we struck a bargain, Mo and I. He did what he would do. I promised to do what I would do. Mo played at first team all-conference level. He was our team captain. He was our leader. We lost 1 game that year. So Juniata's coach at the time was Fred Prender, a very close friend of mine from my playing days at Bucknell. So Fred looked at some film. He liked what he saw, and he and Huntington took a chance and gave Maurice Taylor the opportunity of a lifetime. There's nothing special about what Mo and I did. We just made a promise to each other. We both kept our word, and it's served us very well for 50 years. Juniata gave him the opportunity of a lifetime, and you have to think of the culture shock that Steve was just talking about. A relatively poor, Catholic, inner-city kid coming from inner-city Baltimore to Huntington, Pennsylvania to play football. Juniata welcomed him, nurtured him. Its people made this whole thing work. Now, all good coaches want their players to be successful, and a good-time coach, a good big-time coach once said, you won't know how good your team is or your players are until you see them 20 years later. Maurice is the keystone of what turned out for us to be a very good team, and he understands things. In his own words, the great and small things people are expected to achieve in order to perform a more perfect union. Mo has lived his life with those expectations and knows the work it takes to exceed them. His sense of justice, his great intellect, and his dignity benefit his work now as a scholar, a teacher, a community leader, a community servant, and a trustee. Much was expected of Maurice Taylor when he came here. Maurice has far exceeded all those expectations. His accomplishments have led him to his current position, Vice President for Academic Research, Outreach, and Engagement at Morgan State, one of the most diverse and diverse of the historically black colleges and universities in the United States. It's also among the oldest colleges. It was founded in the same year as Juniata, 1876. Your program has all the details about Maurice's career. He served Morgan State for 25 years in many different ways, and is also committed to his community. Among many volunteer roles, Maurice was president of the Council of Historically Black Graduate Schools, and for all of those thinking about graduate school here, maybe you want to network with Maurice after the ceremony. He's also past chairman of the graduate record exam, the GREs, and maybe he can give you some tips on them. Okay. Now, Maurice is the chair of the State of Maryland's African American Museum Corporation Board of Directors. He's also chair, and this I like too, he's also chair of the Advisory Committee of Prince George's County's Financial Advisory, oversees $50 million of its Economic Development Incentive Fund. Maurice has been known to keep himself busy. Here at Juniata, Maurice was a member of the Juniata College Board of Trustees for more than 20 years. His last term ended in 2014. In 2017, Maurice established with a financial gift the endowed Dr. Maurice C. Taylor Lectureship on Social Justice with a personal gift to the college. As I said earlier, I had Maurice, I had him in the classroom and also on the field. Every coach that, to my knowledge, has a shining star, one that they want to go farther, faster, whatever. Maurice, for mine, after 50 years looking at things, of all the players I ever had, Maurice has gone the farthest and he shines the brightest. His integrity and his innate sense of justice and dignity brings great credit to Juniata College. Juniata deserves all the credit it can get for that. President Troha, I am honored to present Dr. Maurice C. Taylor for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Maurice, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Juniata College, and upon them by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereto pertaining. Congratulations, Maurice.
Let me say at the outset, I never really liked football. I played 8 years, 4 in high school for Coach Passwell and 4 here at Juniata. As Coach mentioned, in my junior year, I told him that I didn't think I was going to play my senior year. He made the deal with me, and so I arrived at Juniata. After my junior year here at Juniata, I told Mary Snyder, the secretary for the athletic director and the head football coach, I didn't think I was going to play my senior year. Mary told me that I was having a good career, my grades were pretty good, and if I continued to play, there was a good chance I would get a scholarship to, NCAA scholarship to graduate school. And so the rest is history. I am eternally indebted to Coach Passwell, Mary Snyder, for seeing a future in me before I could see it in myself. President Troha, Provost Bowen, members of the Board of Trustees, platform guests, families, and friends. I want to start by congratulating the class of 2018. You made it and you finished the race. For some of you, it was a 4-year race. For some others of you, it may have been a 5 or 6-year race. And for a few of you, the race may have seemed more like a life and death struggle to the finish line. Still, you are here today, robed and ready. For that, all of us are gathered here this morning for one reason: to honor you and to celebrate your achievement. Congratulations. I graduated from Juniata, the same gym, in 1972. That was 46 years ago, almost half a century. Now, I know a number of you 2018 graduates out there thinking, that is one old man. Let me caution you, however, not to get too smug about your youthfulness. Just ask your parents and guardians about how quickly time passes. Heck, just ask anyone on the stage here how quickly time passes. One day you are graduating from college, and the next day you're old enough to give the commencement address. It won't be long before you are standing here and some 2064 graduate is whispering to his or her classmate, that is one old dude. That is one old lady. But this generational divide is the point of my commencement address this morning. When President Troha asked if I would give this year's commencement address, I asked myself what it means to be a graduate of Juniata College. Is there something about being a graduate of Juniata College in 1972 that binds me to you and us to them? Is there something in the DNA of Juniata graduates that regardless of how we arrived here as freshmen, whether as jocks, nerds, urban, rural, suburban, northerners, East Coast, West Coast, heartland, black, white, yellow, brown, native, or foreign born, is there something that marks us all as made in Juniata? I submit that which is quintessential Juniata, the DNA that binds us across generations, is that we are taught and we learn here at Juniata that we are to be committed for the rest of our lives to chasing our best selves. Now, I see the looks. You're thinking 4 years, $40,000 a year, and that's it? In all this time, we learn only to chase our best selves. But bear with me for a moment. The chase is much harder and much more complex than it sounds. Consider 2 areas where chasing our best selves is, in fact, a lifelong challenge. First, we are challenged to identify the blind spots in our personal lives. And second, we are compelled to do the great small things in order to rectify the damage that our blind spots have done to ourselves and to others. And because this is part of our Juniata DNA, we have little choice but to address these blind spots and spend our lives chasing our best selves by doing great small things. 2 of the biggest blind spots that we have as Juniata alumni have to do throughout our lives is reckoning with sex and race. Men, If the Me Too and Time's Up movements have taught us anything, it is not only that we know so very little about the women in our lives. That lack of knowledge, that blind spot that we as men have about women is literally dangerous to their health and very often adverse to their careers. By the way, fellows, the blind spots that we have and the danger that we pose is not just about the women we date and those that we marry, but it also applies to our mothers, grandmothers, sisters, daughters, nieces, and cousins. In fact, any girl or woman with whom we may come in contact is at risk of being hurt by crashing into our blind spots. Guys, think about this for a moment. Knowing what you know about yourself, if you had just met you and you showed up at your door and asked you out, how brave or reckless would you have to be to accept your own proposal? I know if I showed up at my door and asked me out, I'd have to have me answer a couple of questions. Questions like, how'd you find me? Where are we going? Is it just you, or are there others? How much gas is in the car? Fortunately, my wife Diane did not ask me these questions. So consider what Me Too and Time's Up have exposed about men, our blind spots and the dangers we pose to women, their health, and to the quality of their lives. More than 50 women have come forward with allegations ranging from rape to sexual harassment by movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. Bill Cosby, America's dad, stands accused of rape and the sexual assault of more than 60 women, and a few weeks ago was convicted on 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault for having drugged and molested a woman in 2004 when she worked at Temple. It would be easy to dismiss the behavior of men that endangers the health and welfare of women and girls as the aberrant behavior found primarily in Hollywood. But that conclusion misses the point that women and girls are preyed upon by men across the social, economic, and employment spectrum. We find women and girls at risk in the arts, in business, in the media, politics, sports, and yes, even at colleges and universities. Here in Pennsylvania, for example, you have the bizarre situation of an elected official, Tara Toohill, needing the sergeant at arms to meet her each day in the State House parking lot, escort her all day, even to committee hearings and to House votes, in order to protect her from another elected official whom she used to date, Representative Nick Miccarelli. According to a recent story in the New York Times, Representative Toohill obtained an order of protection against Representative Miccarelli because he kicked her, pinched her, and pinned her by the neck to a wall in the state capitol. Over a span of 40 years, 8 women have accused Dr. Inda Verma, a prominent geneticist and cancer scientist at the Salk Institute, of grabbing their breasts, pinching their buttocks, forcibly kissing and propositioning them, and repeatedly commenting on their physical attributes in professional settings. In the past year alone, more than 211 celebrities, politicians, CEOs, and others have been accused of sexual misconduct. At the Nike headquarters, say it isn't so, Nike. At the Nike headquarters, women who work there have reported staff outings that started at restaurants and ended up at strip clubs discussing the women's extremities. And perhaps one of the most disturbing accounts of women as prey is that of former California police officer James D'Angelo, who raped 50 women over a 12-year period. When it comes to understanding the meaning of sex and gender, our blind spot is enormous, and we will spend a lifetime confronting our personal blindness. Guys, our blind spots about women is so large that even in the year 2017, many of us found nothing odd or troubling about the Senate Majority Leader's decision to create a working group comprised of 13 men but no women to focus on health care and revisions to the Affordable Care Act. Now, I want to say, ladies, that men are not the only ones with a blind spot about the meaning of sex. Me Too and Time's Up are perhaps as much about women coming to terms with the meaning of sex and gender and confronting their personal blind spots, even as many are victims themselves of sexual assault and sexual harassment. For example, exit poll data from the 2016 special election for the Senate seat in Alabama reveals that 52% of white female college graduates and 73% of white female non-college graduates voted for Roy Moore. And 47% of the women who voted for Roy Moore thought that the allegations of his sexual misconduct made by 8 women, 6 of whom were minors, the youngest was 14, they thought those allegations were false. Me Too is not, however, just about rape, sexual assault, and physical violence perpetrated against women by sexual predators. It's also about including Me Too in the Senate committees discussing a national health care bill. And how about including Me Too when considering who to recommend for internships, faculty appointments, postdocs, and other academic assignments? And how about hiring Me Too or promoting Me Too without first trying to seduce me or sleep with me? Chasing our best selves means that as Juniata College alumni, you and I are bound by our common DNA to be active and conscious about confronting our blind spots about sex and gender. My fellow Juniata Eagles, that DNA means that we will be at this task for a lifetime. Black Lives Matter and Take a Knee, just like Me Too and Time's Up, are the blind spots that we have in our lives. The attention given to and the concern over the physical safety and sexual health of women are no more important than the physical safety and the health and the quality of Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is no less valid than Me Too. Like sex and gender, race and color are enormous blind spots for us. W.E.B. Du Bois, a Harvard-educated sociologist, famously observed, "The problem of the 20th century is the problem of the color line." We are now, however, in the 21st century, and Du Bois' observation about the color line is just as prescient today as it was when Du Bois wrote about it in 1903. Another publication, also written a long time ago, even before The Souls of Black Folk, and seemingly unrelated to Du Bois' text, is the 23rd Psalm. The psalm, you may recall, begins with the words, "The Lord is my shepherd." About halfway through that psalm, we find this unnerving and haunting phrase, "Yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death." I would propose to you that Black Lives Matter and Take a Knee have everything to do with the 23rd Psalm and nothing at all to do with disrespecting the flag. Black people in America live each day in the shadow of death. For so many of you who do not live this experience, I understand that what I just said sounds incredulous. But that is exactly what a blind spot is. You just can't see it. Consider for a moment that since 2015, in a project called Fatal Force, the Washington Post newspaper has tracked deadly police shootings in the U.S. every year. According to the Post data, police have shot 3,309 people since 2015. And of those killed, 231 or 7% were not armed with guns, knives, or other objects that could be used as weapons at the time of the shooting. 36% of these unarmed persons killed by police were black. As a black male, I've had my own walk in the valley in the shadow of death. As an instructor in sociology at Northampton Community Area College in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, 2 white police officers came one night, got me out of bed, and took me to the police station. In the patrol car on the way to the station, I asked, why was I being arrested? They said, for carrying a concealed weapon in Michigan. I have never possessed a concealed weapon, and at that time, I had never been in the state of Michigan. For African Americans, every encounter with police has the potential to end badly. It doesn't matter if you're 2 men waiting to meet someone at Starbucks, 5 women playing golf, or a guy working out with his buddy in a gym where he is a member. Black students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, the site of the mass shooting in Florida, held a press conference to say that the heightened security measures established at their school in response to the February shooting, in particular the increased school policing, does not make them feel safer. In fact, they express feeling harmed by the increased police presence. Black Lives Matter and Take a Knee are not simply about the killing of unarmed black people in the streets by police. Black Lives Matter in the office suites as well on public streets. Black Lives Matter in the office of state and local officials in Michigan when they decided that the city of Flint, where 54% of the population is black and the median income is $2,500 a year, that the city could save money by switching to Flint River water, then making the decision not to treat the water in order to prevent corrosion of the city's decade-old supply pipes. The result is that today, the black and poor people in Flint, Michigan have massively high blood lead levels and were exposed to E. coli and total chloroform bacteria. Black Lives Matter when the Senate is debating national health care legislation and there's no one to represent health disparities in black lives. And Black Lives Matter in the graduate dorms at Yale University. Look, here's the point. Almost everything that you and I hold dear has a different meaning for other people. What I learned at Juniata, and by the way, so did you, is that we must first confront ourselves and challenge our own beliefs about who we are and how those beliefs impact our relationships with others who are near and dear to us, as well as those who are strange and strangers to us. Juniata teaches us to check our blind spots, not just while we are students here, but for the rest of our lives. And after teaching us to confront our blind spots, Juniata compels us to do something about it. There is no need to wait or expect to win the Nobel Peace Prize for doing the right thing as at least one prominent person appears to be doing. The DNA that we inherit from our time at Juniata calls us to do the great small things that help us see past our blind spots and to pursue justice. It is the DNA in our Juniata experience that in 1965 compelled 15 Juniata students to crowd into 5 cars and to head south on a 900-mile trek to Selma, Alabama, to join a march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Now, to be sure, there were professors, but I want you to think about the students who drove all night into Bloody Sunday and ultimately into American history. How did these students from tiny Juniata College, as reported by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, develop this sense of justice? Where did the Juniata students acquire the conviction to risk their safety, to defy their parents, professors, and administrators, to travel south, to participate in this march where a third of the students would be injured? Where did the students learn such courage? It was at Juniata College that these students learned about justice, conviction, personal responsibility, and it was at Juniata College where they acquired the courage to do this great small thing. During my first term as a Juniata trustee, 2 big issues dominated our attention. Bob Neff was the president, and I'm sure he recalls these 2 issues. One was the college's first multi-year capital campaign. The other was whether to retain the image of an Indian as Juniata's mascot. The 2 issues were not unrelated, since a number of alums and donors threatened to withhold their donations to the campaign if the trustees voted to get rid of the Indian as the college's mascot. I believe the board chair at the time, Claire Sunderland, aged 10 years in 10 days because the debate among the trustees and the Juniata College community was passionate, protracted, and often personal. Blind spots were on full display as people who were not Native Americans debated the honor, the privilege, and purpose of retaining an Indian as the college's mascot. In the end, the same DNA that drove Juniata students south is the same DNA that compelled the trustees to do the great small thing, to do the right thing, to do the just thing, and to reject the appropriation of the image of a people as part of the property of Juniata College. We are now proud to be the Juniata Eagles, and we do not have to apologize in 2018 for being the Juniata Indians. When I was in law school, I sued Duke University for racial discrimination in the hiring of writing lab instructors for its freshman English program. Duke would typically hire graduate students, law students, and medical students as freshman writing lab instructors. The year I applied, the English department needed 12 lab instructors. When I was not hired, I met with the head of the writing program and then the chair of the English department about their hiring qualifications and the hiring process. I was not satisfied with the answers I received, so I filed suit with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in Durham, North Carolina. During discovery, it was revealed that Duke had never hired black graduate students, black law students, or medical students as lab writing instructors. Who sues a university with its own law school? What sane law student sues the university from which he expects to receive a law degree? Where does such courage come from? I submit it comes from the same DNA that drove carloads of Juniata students to protest injustice. It comes from the same DNA that compelled the trustees to vote for justice, and it was the same DNA that insisted that I sue Duke to correct its injustice. One of the immediate outcomes of my suit was that Duke hired its first black lab writing instructor, a female who ironically was a member of my law school class. Now, I've spent some time this morning encouraging you to do great small things. And as the saying goes, talk is cheap. So I want to let you know that I am endowing a lectureship series on social justice to provide funding to support an annual event in which Juniata invites a person of some renown to deliver a public lecture on a topic related to social justice. The primary purpose of this endowment is to assist the Juniata community in its efforts to teach, learn, and communicate about the many blind spots that keep us in the dark about one another, and as well about the sources of injustice so central to the American experience. My fellow Eagles, I challenge you this morning to continue chasing your best selves, to see past the blind spots in your lives, and to do great small things in pursuit of justice. In the 46 years since I sat where you are now seated, this is what I've carried with me from my time as a student and as a trustee at Juniata College. You and I are on a lifelong quest, chasing our best selves, compelled to confront the blind spots in our own lives that prevent us from seeing the bright spots in the lives of others. The hardest thing that we will face in this quest is avoiding complacency, the inclination to protect privilege, and the failure to investigate for ourselves the false and incomplete narratives offered to us that support our complacency and which justifies our privilege. We, you and I, the sons and daughters of Juniata College, are in a lifelong pursuit of our best selves. We are challenged to confront our blind spots. We are compelled to do the great small things in pursuit of justice, not because we are male or female, black or white, liberal or conservative. We confront our blind spots and we do the great small things because we graduated from Juniata College and it's in our DNA. Thank you.
Can I have an amen? Amen. All right, are you ready for some fun? Not that we haven't had fun yet, but now is the fun, and you're going to hear it in a moment. All right, here we go. Dr. Lauren Bowen, Provost, will present the candidates for degrees. Dr. Bowen.
Will the candidates for the degree Master of Accounting please rise? President Troha, I have the honor to present 9 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree Master of Accounting.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of Juniata College and upon them by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I now confer upon you the degree Master of Accounting with all the rights and privileges thereto pertaining.
Will the candidates come forward as I call your names to receive your degrees? Kevin J. Benally. Henry F. Coyne IV. Dennis M. Fisher. Joseph Allen Gamble. Amanda A. Gulo. Brendan M. Hauer. Matthew C. Lair. Tyler M. Mansley, in absentia. Katie J. Orris. You are now officially Juniata graduates with the degree Master of Accounting. Congratulations. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Troha, I have the honor to present 102 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Arts.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of Juniata College, upon them by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I now confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and privileges thereto pertaining.
Will the candidates come forward as I call your names to receive your degrees? Catherine Victoria Adcock, cum laude. Christina Laurie Altland, magna cum laude. Kerrigan Vogue Ammerman. Emily Angeline. Danielle Ann Atkinson. Cameron Demetrius Andrew Baines. Malin D. Bender. Liam Irvin Benfer. Jack T. Bogle. Nils Bernhard Boulder. Christian Morgan Bones. Louis Wayne Boob, Jr. Kayla J. Borden. Amber Paige Boring. Evan Marshall Brock, cum laude. Catherine Paige Brown, magna cum laude. Anna Meredith Carlson. Avery Chang. Eric Chun. Rachel Elizabeth Klein, in absentia. Samantha Jo Klein. Matthew Lewis Colabella. Caitlin Elizabeth Cosby. Zipporah Shelley Crandell, magna cum laude. Rosemary Joy Murphy Dean. Catherine Laura Lee Dickens, cum laude. Rory William George Donaldson. Corrine Ashley Eccleston. James Donald Fogel, Jr. Rachel N. Fowler. Storm David Freidinger. Garrett Warren Fry, cum laude. Drew Noah Gallagher. Maeve E. Gannon. Matthew Gerald Gaynor, magna cum laude. Cindy A. Gibney, cum laude. Drew Allen Goodwin. Jileni J. Guzman. Megan Elizabeth Hall. Phoebe Phillips Harnish, cum laude. Zachary Turner Hess. Molly Jean Hewitt. James R. Ennis. Brittany Nicole Isom. Joshua Stephen Keswick, cum laude. Matiash Kohot, summa cum laude. Daniel Isaac Yohai Komar. Emily Joan Kutz, summa cum laude. Kien Le, cum laude. Andrea Lee Heng Leach. Margaret Elizabeth Lizzie. John Vincent Maley III. Jake Markey. Micah Anthony McConnell. Jared Paul Miller, cum laude. Haley Danielle Myers. Aisha Renee Nelson. Alex Michael Nelson. Jacob Riley Notestein. Samantha Brooke Oakes. Liam R. Odell. Anna Isabel Oldenbrook. Kara Ashton Omer. Emily Cosgrove Parker, summa cum laude. Savannah Dane Parson, summa cum laude. Christopher Benjamin Peterson. Christine Loretta Riley, cum laude. Maureen Reinhardt. Damon Christian Rickens. Dallas Ford Ricker. Daisy Vivian Rodriguez. Chelsea Scafuro. Mary Claire Mian Say. Katerina Cassandra Seifert. Jane Coy Shapiro, magna cum laude. Mason Sherry. Neil Michael Smith. Andrew David Starr. Olivia May Stentz. Sierra B. Stern, summa cum laude. Lydia Grace Stewart. Morgan Kaylee Stewart. May Sue. Miranda Alicia Suarez. Elizabeth Susan Swearcheck. Akira Tachikawa. Emily Elizabeth Tone. Ahmed Josemin Tovar. Sarah Elizabeth Olamenik, summa cum laude. Matthew J. Visinko. Abby L. Waldorf. Jack Walker. Tyler Michael Watkins. Alexandra Camilla Webb. Yana Elizabeth Wegenem, cum laude. Dennis Lee Wilt, summa cum laude. Isabel B. Wojciechowski. Jacob Carrington Wolf. Rylea M. Woodward. Jillian R. Woomer. Rain Danielle Young. Will the Bachelor of Arts candidates please rise? You are now officially Juniata graduates. You may flip your tassels. Congratulations. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science please rise? President Troha, I have the honor to present 258 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of Juniata College and upon them by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I now confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges thereto pertaining.
Will the candidates come forward as I call your names to receive your degrees? They do when they get to the end of the road. They're going to sit there. Samantha Lynn Ackrey, summa cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Alexander, magna cum laude. Carly Altenberg. Blair Robert Altland. Rose Margaret Amrine. Rebecca Gray Engelmeyer. Rachel Elizabeth Anstein. Johnny Carl Baker. Allison R. Bainey, magna cum laude. Kyle Robert Bargo, cum laude. Pedro Isaac Basaca. Jessie Lynn Beeler. Kristen A. Behrens. Anthony Paul Burnett, cum laude. Austin Drew Byer. Sarah Elizabeth Bierbauer. Alicia Ann Biondi, cum laude. Ashlyn Caroline Black. Hannah Noelle Blackburn. Jeffrey Lumiere Brabeck. Noelle Dawn Bradley, cum laude. Lauren Rebecca Seth Brewer. Abigail Clement Brooks, magna cum laude. Jamie Thomas Broombaugh, in absentia. Shannon Renee Broombaugh, summa cum laude. Alexandra Jo Buback, cum laude. Larissa Tanae Bubb, magna cum laude. Cody Albert Campbell. Lauren Elizabeth Canastraci, magna cum laude. Lily Noel Cedarleaf Pavey. Nathan Russell Chavis. Cheng Jen. Aubrey Brooks Christensen. Stephen Chuh. Devin Matthew Clark, summa cum laude. Connor Edward Close. Caitlin Jean Coffin, cum laude. Tanner Joseph College. Catherine Elizabeth Conklin. Amber Rose Cook. Karis Alexandra Corey Roberts, cum laude. Craig James Coates. Brady Mason Kotler. Jordan Victoria Coutien. Emily Caroline Cosby, in absentia. Colton James Craig. William Carl Cruiser. Jordan Sarabeth Cruz. Chi Vu Huang Dong, magna cum laude. Shannon G. David Dow, cum laude. Madeline Marie DeAngelis, cum laude. Kelsey Ann Dietz, cum laude. J. Dominic DeFelice. Max Julio Isidore Diaz. Cameron Edward Dickerson. Haven Ann Deal, cum laude. Joseph Anthony DeGangi III, cum laude. Zhang Bui Dai Do, cum laude. Bryce Frederick Dobish. Aaron M. Dobbins. John Donlin. Amanda M. Dove. Caitlin Elizabeth Drees. Rebecca Marie Drecker, cum laude. Janine Renee Dudash. Gabriel Michael Duran. Jessica Ann Eads, cum laude. Nasir K. Ellison. Brody O. Enright, cum laude. Angelica Maria Etienne. Jared Williams Evans. Jingmei Fong. Rebecca Marie Faber. Rachel Marie Fagley, in absentia. Sao Tieng Fung. Scott Thomas Fennell. Alinda Corinne Fisher. Michael Zachary Fallweiler. Amelia Laura Lee Ford. Alexandria Lynn Foster. Zachary C. Faust. Lindsay Marie Gearhart. Benjamin Tracker Gambala, magna cum laude. Michael John Gentili. Christopher Charles Gill. Alexander Paul Goody. Nicholas Daniel Gray. Andrew Nicholas Guide, magna cum laude. Benjamin Joseph Heibach, magna cum laude. Elizabeth P. Hainsworth. Elijah Seth Hall. Elizabeth Ann Ham. Maria Nicole Handel, cum laude. Emma Olivia Clark Hannon, magna cum laude. Grace Elizabeth Hart. Maggie A. Hartice. Caleb Allen Hartung. Greta Eleanor Elizabeth Hayden Pless. Kyle Thomas Heasley, magna cum laude. Ryan Edward Heisler. Christopher William Heron. Christopher James Holsinger. Dianqing Huang. Ruofei Huang, in absentia. Vanessa K. Hurst. Alec James Hutchison. Evan Joseph Imgrand. Christine Marie Irwin. Jonathan Thomas Janoko. Sarah Jubilee Javier. Axel Pierce Jessen. Dejanay Brielle Jones. Jesselyn Page Jones. Joshua H. Katz. Rebecca Ann Katz. Chelsea Michael Keller, summa cum laude. Bridget Lynn Bursell-Keeley. Andrew Craig Knapp. Amy Elizabeth Cockle. Fan Xing Kong. Allison Marie Copera. Shannon H. Kriz. Jared D. Cronix. Bram S. Kyer, magna cum laude. Stephen D. Lane. Samantha May Larkin, summa cum laude. Dion Jordan Latanzi. An Nui Chao Le, cum laude. Marcus Anthony Lee. Mark M. Lee, magna cum laude. Aldo Anthony Leggi, cum laude. Adam John Lenser, cum laude. Carrie Dexter Leonard, cum laude. Christina E. Lerchin. Bryce A.D. LaRue. Daniel John Lesney, magna cum laude. Calvin Leo, magna cum laude. Mei Ling Liu. Shi Meng Liu. Lauren Renee Locke. Dominic Lombardo, cum laude. Andrew John Loversmith. Truk Tien Lee. John Michael McClay. Micah Scott Magley, summa cum laude. Kayla Renee Mallon, in absentia. Nicole Elizabeth Morasiak. Kyle T. Martell, in absentia. Benjamin Edward Martin, magna cum laude. Megan Elizabeth Martin. Tanner Lee Martz. David Douglas Maruka, magna cum laude. Kate Frances Marzi, magna cum laude, in absentia. James E. McGettigan Jr., cum laude. Brock Anthony Medva. Elizabeth Teresa Metzger, magna cum laude. Claudia Isabella Meyer. Lauren Elizabeth Miller. Jocelyn Magali Malloy. Devon Markel Mitchell. Megan Elizabeth Maroney, magna cum laude. Alexis Nicole Morrissey, magna cum laude. Anton Morrow. Lydia Marie Mueller. Joshua T. Muffy. Danielle M. Murphy. Jessica M. Murray, in absentia. Ichiro Patrick Narita. Minte Agazan Nagani. Tuan Min No. An P. Nguyen, cum laude. Min Hong Nguyen, in absentia. Brennan J. Novak. Tianxing Pan, in absentia. Caleb James Parnell. Vinit Paresh Patel. Alexis C. Patton, cum laude. Krista Noel Peachy. Austin S. Peck. Janet Forrester Pfeiffer, in absentia. Yuchi Pang. Pennell? Kaylee Ann Pennell. Caleb Aaron Pepperday. Wilberto Peralta. Ella Jiang Perkins. Kelsey Linda Fowl, magna cum laude. Adrian Sidney Pitchford. Maggie L. Posenel. Ian Macaulay Prescott. Allison Rachel Price, magna cum laude. Courtney Renee Price. Destiny Marie Pruce, cum laude. Joycelyn Stella Redeni, cum laude. Bridget Denise Ray, magna cum laude. Philip Scott Rarick. Alicia Lauren Regnault. Joel Thomas Rygard. Brooke Elizabeth Ridenauer. Stephanie P. Ringer, summa cum laude. Isaac Gerald Robbins. Michaela Jane Robinette. Lindsay K. Rogers. Anthony Eduardo Roque. Bruno H. Rosa. Luis Reynaldo Rosas. Simon Henry Rosner, in absentia. Caitlin Lee Roth. Catherine Lee Russell, cum laude. Kathleen Delaney Ryan. Nicole Marie Saunier. Gavin John Shank. Ashley Elizabeth Schnackenberg, in absentia. Joseph C. Schnobelt. Kevin Michael Schofield, Jr. Christopher James Schrader. Christy Rebecca Shutt, summa cum laude. Hakeem K. Schwemlein, cum laude, in absentia. Emma Rose Sebastian. Hong Chuh, in absentia. Mitchell Reed Schober. Alexis Ann Shoup. Dustin William Shuey. Hannah Nelson Shumway. Lucas R. Simpson. Katie Sue Smith, magna cum laude. Timothy R. Smith. Hayden T. Snook. Bethany M. Spencer. Alexis Carol Speranza. Logan Remington Stinger. Brent Andrew Sterner. Carl Robert Sutman. Ian Michael Taylor Benjamin. Zachary John Tobash. Roberto Julian Toro. Joshua A. Trone. Zeph L. Turner, summa cum laude. Raymond Farnan Toro, summa cum laude. Teresa E. Uniac, cum laude. Anna Elizabeth Van Dusen. Benjamin Lee Verhovsik, summa cum laude. Margaret Rachel Voss, in absentia. Brianna Michelle Wasser. Rayla J. Wadaha. David R. Welsh, cum laude. Allie Lynn Wyant. Brandon J. Wyant. Catherine Elizabeth Williams, cum laude. Rachel Kristen Willis. Catherine Whitteman. Yvonne Marie Wojciechowski, cum laude. Hoi Tong Wong. Caitlin Nicole Wyatt. Samantha Nadine Yamamoto. Kang Yang. Alana B. Yates. Jessica Ann Zavodek, magna cum laude. Ting Kai Zhou. Catherine L. Zerkler. Will the Bachelor of Science candidates please rise? Congratulations! You are now officially Juniata graduates, and you may flip your tassels. Please be seated.
How about a hand for Dr. Bowen getting through those names as quick as she can? She apologizes if she didn't get some of them quite right, but she works hard at it. This time, I'd just like to thank a couple people for making today and this weekend possible. Dave Wachowski, where's David? Thank you so much for baccalaureate last night. It was a wonderful service. Appreciate all that you did to make that happen. Yeah. All of today, Joanne Crew and the Commencement Committee, a round of applause for all of their help in making this possible. And we have been fed well and will continue to be fed well after this at the reception just upstairs. I'd like to thank Sodexo, including a special guest that returned today for many of you in the audience, and Laura over there. We are with you, Laura. I know you were with us. Thanks for coming back. Hi, Ramsey. Also, we can't do what we do. As you saw, we had the bleachers set up on the quad, all ready for this ceremony. The facilities team here does a remarkable job of providing 2 venues for us. They worked very hard to making today special. A round of applause for our facilities team. This moment, I want to ask Phoebe Harnish, class of 2018, to lead us in singing the alma mater. Please remain standing for the benediction and remain in your seats until the trustees, faculty, and graduates have recessed. Thank you again for being here. Phoebe?
Juniata College, dear, in praise we raise our song, the place of loyal hearts and cheer, which we have loved so long. We love the pathways to and from, the classrooms and the halls. We'll never forget the far we go, our days within her walls.
So, graduates of Juniata College, may you go forth now into the new seasons of your lives, knowing that as one season ends, surely a new one begins. May we all allow the diversity and the wonder of the world we encounter to motivate us to live as sowers of justice with all that we meet. And grant us, O God, the conviction to do the great small things before us, trusting that they do indeed make a difference. May each of us never get so absorbed or busy that we do not stop regularly to listen for the whisper of grace in our lives and allow ourselves to be renewed by it. And may that grace give us the courage we need to look honestly at ourselves, to face squarely our blind spots. And may we go forth empowered to use both the wisdom and the knowledge that we have gained in this place to be a blessing for others as well. Amen.